So I think you've probably gathered from hearing me and anybody that's listened to past interviews with me, I'm quite gentle in my approach to business. I'm not an autocrat, I don't tell people what they need to do. I'm not assertive as a person. And so I was told very young by someone that I was a servant leader. And I liked the sound of that, so I studied that a bit. And I think that is my leadership style, is lead in order to serve. And that first happened when I was about 22 and I was given a supervisory position. I suddenly had people working for me, and all I wanted to do was find out what success meant to them and how could I help them be successful. And so I think that was very classic when I started Ecademy, because anybody who runs a community online, whether it's on Facebook or LinkedIn as a group or a following, the best way they can serve their followers is to serve them. It's not about them, it's about the impact they want to have on those people. And to become a servant leader is probably the most powerful lesson that I've had in business. So I don't think there's ever been a time for women to have the most amazing balance in their lives. When I started my own business, I could do it because of the internet. And I had 3 young children under 5. And, it was really important to me that my role and my responsibility as a mother was performed at its highest level. Because, I wanted to bring up 3 children who were balanced, happy, contributors to the world and the economy. And so that was really important to me. So I think the internet is unbelievable place for women to find themselves, as long as they don't get sucked into this world of competition and comparison and sitting at home, understanding their own vulnerabilities, which we all have, and having their own fears, which we all have, and finding that they feel small compared to the people that appear like giants online. And I think one of the key things I did when I wrote my book was trying to break down the mystery of what is an entrepreneur, because the reality of being an entrepreneur is it is the most massive roller coaster, and the most fundamental skill you can have is how you manage your mind. You can develop your business skills, you can develop your own talent in the way that you serve your clients and manage them, but there isn't enough spoken about managing your own mental fitness and how you manage the dialogue in your own head and how you manage dealing with conflict and difficult situations, and how you shape your life around what your character and your personality and your desires allow you to do. And that would be my greatest message to anybody starting their own business, is really get a sense of yourself and be self-aware. And online you see so much ego, and it's because people haven't built their inner self-worth. And you have to have a lot of self-worth to build a business yourself. And I learnt that to my peril, because in November 2017, I had my version of breakdown or whatever, and I was diagnosed with PTSD and a form of depression called Curse of the Strong. I had no idea I had any of this until something hit me like a train. And then it took me to meeting a psychologist to understand that actually, if 22 years ago I had had a lot more understanding and had respected myself and the person that I was, I would have had a very different journey of joy through my experience of being an entrepreneur. Just deeply, and it's said over and over again, be yourself. And it's something that can flash past you on Instagram on a message and you go, oh, yeah, I'm being myself. But I don't think you can be yourself until you know yourself and love yourself and respect yourself and give you permission to be yourself. And that's not just a question of having a mantra, I'm myself, because I know loads of people that say, I'm being myself, but I know deep down they're not. And the gap between your truth and your identity is really where your stress lies. And you can't be yourself without spending a lot of time understanding who you are. Well, I think it is. I think it's so easy to create a website, create all your social media feeds, open a bank account in seconds with all these different banks now. You know, these bank accounts even allow you to send invoices from them. It's all almost too easy, because the responsibility of running a business towards yourself and to others is pretty strong. And so I think it is very accessible. And I think that where it becomes hard is when you start needing finance, the cash flow, in order to ensure you can keep investing in the business while you also manage your clients. And you see it time and time again, where somebody grows, they have clients, they're trying to deliver to those clients, they stop innovating, they stop growing as an individual, they fall into cash flow problems, and then they need to go and get finance. And a lot of people then think, I need to get an investor. But there are all sorts of alternative finance options that are very powerful and allow you to remain in control of your own business. And so I think there is actually quite a movement within the millennial generation of saying, I'm not sure I want an investor, because you do lose control. And I've had investors in 2 businesses, and I know the emotional burden of an investor, and I also know what those boardroom meetings are like, and how you actually end up feeling like you've got a boss, and you start having your motivations come from a different place. And so I would say entrepreneurship is very accessible, but if you can grow organically, if you can find a way to alternative finance, that's the way I would suggest anybody does it, until they get to a strong position, inner self-worth, proven case studies, a really good business. And then you will go into an investor situation with a great deal more assertiveness, and you will then do the due diligence on that investor rather than the investor doing it all on you. So there is a massive push towards the Simon Sinek start with why, and making people feel that they've got to have a sense of purpose. And I think women particularly feel that I've got to really understand what my purpose here, which is fantastic, but they then need to wrap the business skills around it. And so I meet with hundreds and hundreds of women every year who've started their own business. I think a lot of them don't call themselves entrepreneurs because they're so deeply embedded in that purpose that they're almost embarrassed to say they're a businesswoman. And I went through that myself, where I was so driven by purpose building Ecademy, I almost wanted to hide from my children and from the playground mums and from my clients even, that I was a businesswoman. You know, I almost set myself up to almost be like a philanthropist, in the way that I felt that money was not right. I couldn't combine purpose with money, that it wouldn't seem right. And then somebody said to me, but Penny, the world doesn't want another poor person. But I think some of that was coming from self-worth, and some of it was coming from the conflict of, I so want to help others that when somebody asks me to do something for free, from, you know, a speech or a coffee where they want to pick my brains, I used to think that was right to do. So I think women should stand in their own power and be proud to be a businesswoman or an entrepreneur, and know that you can make money, that you deserve to make money, that you can value yourself, and you can build a better business if you do make money, and you can impact more people when you do make money. And I think also, you know, charity begins at home is very important. I think we have a responsibility to build a strong business to support our families. And I've met, unfortunately, a lot of very kind entrepreneurial business type women that are doing it, where their own family are in poverty because they are spending far too much time giving their time away for free. And it's almost like they feel wrong for being able to call themselves a businesswoman, whereas our men don't find that hard. And so I think there needs to be a shift in the perception of what a businesswoman is. A businesswoman can be soft and gentle and purposeful and loving and kind and all of these things, but can still be somebody that makes money.